Hello, Resurrection. Merry Christmas. Today is the 11th day of Christmas, 11 pipers piping and all that. I think it's pipers piping, isn't it? I think so. 11 pipers pipers, and tomorrow is Lord's a leaping or drums a drumming or something like that. Lord's a leaping, I think. And tomorrow is the day that or tomorrow night is the night that we call 12th night. Now, a lot of people, especially in the South, celebrate 12th night on January the 6th, but that is not 12th night. That's the Feast of the Epiphany. 12th night is the 12th night of Christmas, and it used to be especially in England and in the English church, it used to be bigger than New Year's. It was a big deal. Shakespeare wrote plays to be performed on 12th night. It was just one of the biggest celebrations of the year, as big as Christmas was itself, and it's coming up on us, a time of celebration and a feasting, and then we go into what we in Louisiana always called carnival, right? Like people say it's Mardi Gras season, but of course, Mardi Gras is just that one day before Ash Wednesday. But this whole season where we would eat king cake and boiled crawfish and all that because it's crawfish season is called carnival, and we're coming into that, and it is a time of great celebration. But something I want you to recognize in the church is that the color of our vestments, the color that we decorate the church in, is going to go back to green here in just a week or two, and it's going to stay that way until we get to Lent. And I want you to remind yourself what it is that green means when we're in the church. Green is the color that is supposed to remind you of what your ordinary job is, right? Some people call it ordinary time. It's not in a fasting season. It's not in a feasting season. It's just regular. It's plain. It's ordinary time. And what is our ordinary job? The thing that we should ordinarily be doing in the church? Well, that is preaching about the love of Jesus Christ and growing his church, growing his kingdom in the world. Green, like growing things. It reminds us, that green color, that we are to be growing the kingdom of God. Get to our ordinary job. So we've got a few more weeks before we have to turn our focus in toward ourselves and our and get ourselves back on track and get ready for Easter. So we've got a lot of preparation to do. Now, January the 1st rolled around, and so in the church office, we switched gears, and we have to be doing things in the church office now, like we're wrapping up our pledge drive. And by the way, thank you so much for turning in your pledge. We've had several new pledges come in this year, and I always say that the sign of growth is getting new pledges in, not bigger pledges, right? The idea is not for the same folks to dig deeper. That's not growth. It's for new folks to come in, even if it's just a little pledge. Any new pledge is a sign of growth, and we've had several of those, and I'm thrilled about those. I'll also remind you one more time that I do know who pledges and who does not pledge, because I write the thank you notes, but I don't know how much anybody pledges. I don't want to know that. But I do know if you have pledged. And so for those who have pledged, as you always have, and for those who have pledged for the first time or for the first time in a long time, and those of you who still plan to and haven't turned your cards in for us yet, thank you so much for doing that. And we will begin now in this ordinary time to get to mundane things in the church, uh, like putting together the budget, which is one of my least favorite things in the world to do, but we have to do that too. The priest has to be a man of prayer. He has to be a man that's worried about the pastoral concerns and whatnot, and that is what I spend most of my time doing. But we also have to get all the rest of it done, and the church folks are no different from the priest in that respect. Is that we have to get all the regular things done while still focusing on the big job, our ordinary job, which is growing the kingdom of God. It has been awfully cold here lately, and you will notice that a lot of I'm noticing like every laurel bush in Middle Tennessee looks like it has died in the cold. Some people say that they'll come back. I don't know, but as I look at those bushes, right, and I'm reminded that we're about to hit the coldest part of the year, but that all of that, all of those leaves that have died and have turned loose, that's all about to come back, right? It's about to regreen and it's about to come back and it's about to show the growth and of the work that plant has done in the cold season, right? That plant has done some hard work in this cold season. It has dropped its leaves to protect itself. It has guarded against the cold. It's strengthened its roots. It's done some things like that. And while we don't see that hard work it's doing now, that is going to pay off for that plant come springtime when the green pops through and the growth occurs. And I think we're doing the same thing in the church right now. We're doing the mundane work, the things that have to be done that strengthen our church, and the growth, the green growth, will be evident of that in time. So I thank you so much for sticking with us, sticking with your church, and doing that hard work, which is going to pay off very, very soon for our little church, and is paying off already, as a matter of fact. We will not have Wednesday night programming tonight. We'll begin that next week, which is the 11th. I think that's right, the 11th. We'll be back to our regular Wednesday night programming, and regular Sunday morning programming will begin this coming Sunday, the 8th, as well. And I love you, and I will see you then.